Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Doing kind of our mid-season, almost kind of like a third of our season, bait power rankings. We did a preseason one right before the season started about what I predicted would be my 5 top performing baits for 2026, whether that be tournaments or just fun fishing. But like we always do, the baits, the way that they are ranked, they are given more weight to baits that are producing key fish in tournaments that we're actually bringing to the scales. But of course, you know, there's other baits that have brought in a lot of numbers for me this year and have been good producers. So we're gonna keep this one brief. We're just gonna roll through it right now. Like always, honorable mention. For me this year so far, it's been a tube. A tube caught me some 3 key fish on the last day of Cherokee. I kind of switched from a different bait that I'll talk about in a little bit to a tube. I'm not sure if it kind of caught more like different fish than the other bait, but it was more probably about the location, but it still boated me a couple fish, as well as it caught me 2 really nice ones on Lake Michigan for a big lake tournament that we had this year. Number 5, starting off here, Nico rig. This is just a KVD perfect plastic finesse worm. This is the fish that I pretty much weighed all my fish in at Rayburn. It wasn't a great finish, but I caught some big ones in practice on it, and I got a lot more confidence in it now. Super good finesse bait, and pretty good bait on scope too. So I'm getting a little bit of confidence in this, and maybe we'll play later in the year in a big tournament in November. We'll see. All right, number 4, shocking, is a jerkbait. You know, preseason power rankings, I'm pretty sure that I had jerkbait number 1. You know, it caught me some really nice fish at Toledo Bend. Problem was Toledo Bend was not a tournament. That was just out there fun fishing before the Open at Rayburn. Since then, I mean, I've kind of been in scope jail for the last 3 weeks, so I haven't really thrown it a ton. But it's caught me a lot of fish this year. Just really hasn't played a critical role in any of my tournaments so far. So that's why it's number 4. I know for a fact it's going to get more play as we continue on throughout the year. We'll probably move up, but we'll see how far it moves up. Jerkbait, number 4. Number 3, a minnow. This is just a wing fluke. You know, a minnow has produced a decent amount of fish for me this year. You know, especially in tough conditions like the first Cal Sag when the water temp was like 42 degrees. I caught all my fish on a minnow, couldn't get them to bite anything else. But really the key and the reason why the minnow is number 3 is because how powerful it was for me at Cherokee, especially during the practice. I was able to find my offshore shoals that were producing fish by throwing a minnow over the rocks and watching the smallmouth come up. They didn't always commit to it, but it showed themselves, and then I was able to use a bait that we're going to talk about here in a little bit to catch those fish. So I did catch some key fish at Cherokee on a minnow. But it was really a powerful tool to be able to identify where the fish were, especially the better fish too, because that was the key for that week. So minnow, number 3. Number 2 is a Texas rig, but specifically I will give you the soft plastic that I am using predominantly is a Bronco bug, Crush City Bronco bug. I weighed in every single fish from Grand Lake and actually pretty much caught every single fish in the tournament on a Bronco bug. And essentially out, except for one fish at La Crosse as a co-angler, every single fish came on a Bronco bug. So pretty much every single fish I've weighed in the last 30 days in tournaments has been on a Bronco bug. And you know, it just goes to show you how powerful of a plastic it is. It's a kind of a profile and a shimmy on the fall that fish don't really see. I'm not sure how many people are still throwing it. It was a big fad, I think, when it first came out, but I think a lot of people, I don't know, they kind of probably went back to their normal flipping baits. But I love the Bronco bug. It's a heavier plastic, so you can get away with a smaller weight, which I think is key. It has a little bit more of a natural fall. And it's just easy to flip and cover water with in terms of what would normally be a little bit of a slower technique, pitching and flipping. You can do this one pretty fast because it does have a good fall since it is a heavier soft plastic. So Bronco bug, number 2. And number 1, if you guys watched any of my Cherokee videos, I think it's pretty obvious what the number 1 bait is for me this year so far is a Ned rig, which is shocking because I almost never throw a Ned rig. To me, I would rather throw a finesse jig in the same situations as a Ned. But in that particular tournament, around the spawn with smallmouth. The Ned rig was key for getting in and out of those rock crevices on those offshore shoals, to be able to get those pre-post and spawning fish in the rocks. Got a lot of confidence in it now. It caught me probably the biggest fish that I weighed in, the multiple biggest fish that I caught at Cherokee. And you know, by day 3, really by the end of day 2, I stopped throwing a minnow, and I just threw a Ned rig exclusively for the fish. And it's got me my best finish, honestly, in my career, a 10th place finish, Cherokee for the Bass Nation qualifier. So a lot of confidence in that bait. It's done me very, very well. And honestly, if I don't catch another fish on a Ned rig this year, it will still remain in the power rankings because of how well it produced for me in that key tournament to get me to the Nation Championship in November. So that's it for you guys today. Those are my top 5 baits so far for 2026. We'll see how things shake up as the season goes on. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. It really helps the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.